Is this a good time to buy a house? That's a legitimate question right now, especially with all the talk about the housing market crashing. By the way, that's bullshit. Hey gang, welcome. If this is your first time visiting, my name is Andy Elliott, and my channel is all about Nashville, Williamson County, and real estate. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you. If your goal is to buy a home to live in this year, let me put your mind at ease about a few things. If you want to go straight to my answer, go to the chapters in the description box and click on the title, Buy a Home Now If. If you want to learn why people are stressing out so much about buying a home, keep watching. Why are so many people asking the question, is this a good time to buy a house? I mean, where are all the doubts and fears about the housing market coming from? Well, one source is housing market crash videos on YouTube. Let me tell you how that started, why they continue, why it's important, and the effect that it has on potential home buyers just like you. Now, understanding what I share next is really going to help you put things into perspective. And I want to get this right, so bear with me for like 2 minutes. So carrying over from 2019, the January 2020 housing inventory levels were at record lows, according to Realtor.com. And according to supply and demand, low supply, prices high. And there was major concern that the market would stall out because of what's called an affordability gap. That's where entry-level buyers are priced out of the market entirely. Well, entry-level buyers represented 33% of the home purchases last year, so 33%, that's significant. Then the wheels came off. January 21st was the first reported case of COVID. February 3rd, the U.S. declares a public health emergency. March 13th, the U.S. declares a national emergency. March 20th, the stock market bottoms out. Stay-at-home orders and stimulus checks were dispatched. Now there's a sense of real trouble. Legitimate concerns over unemployment, business losses, lower income, missed mortgage payments fuel the idea of a housing market crash. Because if 33% of the market evaporates, the entry-level buyers, what do you think will happen? Trouble's ahead. This is when the housing market crash YouTube videos started to get attention. Google Trends is a tool where you can check search volume on keywords. Whether it's on the internet, Google, or YouTube, you can do those separately. Now check this out. When the lockdown hit, housing crash on Google took a spike, and then it trailed off during the course of the year. But on YouTube, it was just a little blip during the lockdown and then started to gain traction all year until it maxed out in December, despite the fact that pending home sales were rising the whole time. Now, after an initial shock of the lockdown, the pending home sales started to grow, mortgage rates dropped, and buyers came out in droves despite the pandemic, hand sanitizer, face masks, and virtual showings. And as you know, that's still going on today. The attention that market crash video creators got was intoxicating. Remember now, video views, subscriptions, watch time retention, that's what all creators are looking for. I am too, but let's do it for the right reason. Despite the fact that the market was growing, people were out buying houses, and few, if any, real market experts were predicting a crash, the market crash videos continued, scaring the bejesus out of any potential home buyer. I mean, that message would make anybody nervous. The message we continue to get from strong financial minds is the housing market is strong, it's going to moderate. It means it's going to level off a little bit. But full disclosure, nobody has a crystal ball. Stuff happens and nobody knows the future. So, should you buy a house in 2021? Well, you should if your goal is to buy a home and live in it for a while. If you have enough money stashed away for closing costs, down payments. If you don't need assistance to buy your house. If you've been at your job a while and it seems solid after everything we went through with 2020. If you don't have a ton of debt. In short, if you're ready, go buy your house, have a good life. And if you have to sell a home to buy one, can't think of a better time, just understand there's going to be competition for you finding that next place. On the other hand, don't buy a house if, and you're not going to hear this very often, you don't have money stashed away for closing costs and down payment. If you have to borrow money for closing costs, down payment, don't do it. If you have high revolving debt, high credit card balances, don't do it. If you have a marginal credit score, just don't buy a house. Even if you qualify for one, and I know that may be hard to hear. I understand that buying a house is exciting, but I'll tell you what's not exciting is barely getting by, not having enough money to maintain your house, hoping to God something doesn't break, because then what? Losing sleep, being short with your family because you're financially stressed. None of that is fun. But what is worth it is stepping back, getting ready, having an emergency fund, buying your house, doing it at the right time so that when you go home, you can relax and you can be grateful that you have a place to call your own. Be sure to check out my video, Solving the Down Payment Puzzle. Leave a comment, give me a like, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you don't miss anything. Talk to you soon.